Hey guys, it's Drummond. Welcome to my channel, and if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you know when a new video comes out. So today's video is going to be all about dating apps, specifically the ones where you swipe left or right. So the one that I use most is Tinder, and I feel like in today's day and age, dating apps are pretty much the new way for LGBT people to meet other LGBT people. So in this video, I kind of want to talk about what makes me swipe right and what makes me swipe left. So when it comes to swiping right or left, I feel like on most dating apps, it's kind of a shallow thing at first. You kind of swipe right or left based upon what you see. So if the person doesn't really leave a lot down in the description, you're really basing it upon looks. So the first thing that I kind of look for in the pictures is whether or not they've got like smoking pictures in there. I'm not really into anyone who smokes, so that's one of the first things that I'll swipe left to if I see in one of the pictures, just because I hate the way it smells. It's something that just drives me insane. And yes, I understand that people can quit, but if you feel a need to put it in a profile picture on your dating app, it's probably something that's a little bit more important to you, and it's probably a sign that it's something that you're probably not going to quit. So sorry on the shallow level, but that's a left swipe for me. On the other side of the spectrum, if you're the type of person that loves outdoors and you've got a lot of travel pictures, that's something that I'll usually swipe right for. So when it comes to looks and all of that stuff, I feel like now that I'm a little bit older, I'm not really looking so much for looks. I feel like, of course, you're going to look for someone that you find sexually attractive, but it's not the only thing that I'm looking for anymore, just because I'm kind of looking for someone to settle down with. I'm not the type of person that's swiping right or left for a hookup, especially on Tinder. I'm kind of looking for someone that's got very similar interests to me, and hiking is something that I love doing. And if you love hiking and traveling and kayaking and camping, it's definitely something that I will probably swipe right for. It's not something that automatically gives you a swipe right if that's what's on your profile, but most definitely something I will give a second glance to your profile if I see pictures of you out in the woods or in different places in the world where you've traveled. Another thing that kind of makes me swipe left on profiles is when someone kind of looks like a deadbeat. They don't really look like they've got much going for them in life. And honestly, when it comes to your dating profile, it's like your ad for yourself. Like you're advertising yourself. So if you're advertising yourself in a really negative light, then people are more likely going to swipe left. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're a deadbeat person, but if your profile screams that, then more likely someone like me who's looking for someone who's outgoing and motivated to do things in life and ready to just like take on the world, then you want to make your profile look a little bit more outgoing and positive, as if you've got things going on for you in life. Because no one really wants to date someone who sits on the couch all day and does nothing else. Granted, there are people out there who love video games. I'm not really one of those people, but I'm not against video games just because I have in the past enjoyed watching people play, and sometimes I will attempt to play. Most people laugh at me because I really suck at video games. Because when I was little, my parents really sent me outside to play instead of letting me sit inside and play video games. So I really never got the childhood to kind of advance in video games to where I was good. When it comes to like any of those like video games where you're using the joystick and everything, my character pretty much just stands there and is just like looking around, and I'm usually the first person to die on any type of video game like Smash Brothers. I will wreck my car in Mario Kart because I can't stay on the track unless there's walls. So yeah, video games plus kind of not really something that I've like loved doing. If you're willing to play video games after a long day and then on our day off we can go hiking, maybe I'd be down for that. Another thing is animals. I love animals. Pets are awesome. I'm not really a fan of someone who has tons of animals. I went on a date with a guy once, and when we got back from dinner, we went to his house because we were going to watch a Netflix movie. And then his dog jumped up on the couch and he started like letting the dog like French kiss him and like lick all over his face. And I was just like, oh, this guy is not kissing me. He actually did go for a kiss as I was leaving. I was just like, no, once again, germaphobe. Can't do kissing if you're going to be kissing a dog like that. So yeah, animals plus if you're obsessed with them and it's like your entire Instagram, probably not going to work out for me. I've actually run across a few profiles where it's just like 300 pictures of their pet and then one picture of themselves. Another thing I end up swiping left for is if the profile really doesn't show any pictures of you where it's like up close. If it's like far back, you've got sunglasses on, you never really can tell who's in the picture or if every single picture is a group picture. I feel like that just screams insecurity in a lot of different ways, and I'm really looking for someone who has their life together and is secure in who they are, because I don't want to end up dating someone who is super insecure about the way they look or super insecure about other things in life, where I'm constantly having to reassure them that I am dating them, that I like them, that I want to go on more dates with them. It's exhausting when you're constantly trying to reassure someone that you're still interested in them because of their insecurities. So get your insecurities in check. When it comes to profile pictures on a dating app, they should be of you, and it should also be very clear on who is the person that you're swiping right or left on. I shouldn't have to swipe between all your pictures and like eliminate each person in the picture of like, okay, so this person's in the first, second, and third, but they're not in the fourth, so that one's not it. Shouldn't have to do that. Something else that kind of bugs me on the dating profiles is when they have like their views underneath where they're just like, oh, if you're this, this, and this, then I'm not interested in you, or only looking for this, this, and this. I'm like, okay, well, if you're that specific, even if I fall into the categories, I'm kind of like, probably not going to be a thing for me. I'm the type of person that kind of takes life as it is, and I kind of accept people for who they are. I generally try not to judge people for who they are. That doesn't mean that I will date just anybody. I am very specific on who I want to date, but I try not to judge other people, and I don't want to date other people who end up judging people. Something I'm a little bit more careful on with my profiles on dating sites and stuff like that is how much information I share with people. Mainly because I feel like there's some people out there who are just looking for someone to hand them a script and be like, okay, this is what I want in a boyfriend. Can you follow this script? I don't want someone to follow a script. I don't want someone to pretend to be someone they're not to impress me because they think that I'm attractive. I want someone who is confident in themselves, knows what they're passionate about, and it doesn't matter what I'm passionate about. They're going to continue to be passionate about the things that they're passionate about because they know what they're passionate about. Because I know what I'm passionate about, and I'm not going to change myself to get someone to like me. If they don't like me for who I am, then just on to the next one. Just like Ariana Grande said, thank you, next. I just don't understand why people would try to pretend to be someone that they're not to impress someone, because at the end of the day, you're going to exhaust yourself trying to pretend to be someone that you're not. Granted, there are times where when you're dating someone, they bring out something in you that you didn't know about. Like, I was dating Matt, which if any of you guys have watched any of my previous videos with him, he was into UVA basketball, and I really didn't care. I loved UVA just because Thomas Jefferson was kind of a role model for me when it came to like architecture and all of that stuff. And I really enjoyed UVA for that reason. But when it came to like sports, I wasn't really into it. I supported UVA and I was just like, yeah, go Hoos. But I wasn't really like into the sport. But Matt was really into the basketball game, and when it came to him watching it, I'd sit there and watch it with him. And then I kind of started to like get excited when they were winning, and I kind of became addicted. And this season I became very addicted, and they won. They won the entire championship, which is awesome. And so that's something that I kind of learned about myself. That was something I kind of pulled from that relationship. I wasn't trying to become Matt. I just became passionate about something because he brought that into my life. Just like when it came to hiking and stuff, I've dated people who it wasn't really their thing, and then they kind of started to like it because we've done so many different hikes together, and they're just like, wow, this is cool. But if you don't like hiking, or if you don't like sports, don't fake it to impress someone, because at the end of the day, if you fake it, they're going to make you do it more and more. And then if you start to become resentful, you're going to hate them for the things that they really thought that you liked because you lied in the first place. So yeah, I feel like today's dating world really has become all about first glance and quick judgments, and I don't think that's such a great idea, because I don't think it's a great idea to make those types of calls, just because people have depth. And there's a lot of things that you really have to learn about people over time, and not so much in that quick instant getting to know someone on the first date, and then right from the beginning you're like, oh, nope, can't do that. I feel like I've been thrown away so many times because I say just one thing, or they see one thing that they don't like about me. They just build that to be my entire character, and I'm just like, no, that's just a small part of who I am. And if on the first date, that's something that you can't get over. It's just like, okay, let's move on from that. I guess if you're willing to throw me away for something as small as that, we weren't meant to be, but yeah. In today's dating world, that seems to be the way things go. People throw each other away so quickly without really getting to know one another on any deeper level to see if they've got something in common. I know that I've dated some people where it's lasted a few months and then you're like, okay, we're not really on the same page here, and that's okay. But don't throw people away so quickly and give some other people some opportunities. I know on Tinder, it's gotten to the point where you've got so many matches now that it's hard to keep a conversation going. So one thing that I always try to do is get people on a different level, like on Snapchat, or if we're texting, or Facebook, just so that we kind of have a little bit more of a chance of getting to know each other on some deeper levels than just a quick Tinder match and conversation there. I'm definitely a huge fan of meeting people in person. I think that's so important because there's so many different things that you can just say about yourself, but then when you meet them in person, you're just like, wow, that's not at all what I pictured you to be like. And then you can go from there. So instead of talking for 2 or 3 or 4 weeks on Tinder, try to meet up in person, even if it's just like for an hour for coffee. I think it's important to meet face to face because I think at that point you can kind of tell right off the bat if you're compatible or not. But I hope you guys like this video. I know it's kind of a rambling video. I hope that if you've got any comments, you feel safe to leave them on the comment section below. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my videos, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.